I want you to pause for a moment and think about this. The very fact that you're breathing right now is proof that God has a plan for you. You didn't just show up on this earth by coincidence. You're not the result of chance, fate, or some random accident. You are here because the creator of the universe designed you, shaped you, and placed you exactly where he wanted you to be. Before your parents ever thought about you, God thought about you. He decided the time you would be born, the place you would live, and the gifts you would carry. You weren't dropped into this world without purpose. You were intentionally woven into the fabric of his creation. You are not a spare part. You're a masterpiece, uniquely crafted for a role no one else can play. And here's the truth. The world needs what God has placed inside of you. The kindness you show, the wisdom you share, the talents you use, all of it matters. There are people whose lives will be touched because of your obedience to live the life he's called you to. You are part of a story far bigger than yourself, a story that started before you were born and will continue long after you're gone. So when you feel overlooked, remember this: God hasn't forgotten you. When you feel small, remember this: you were created with eternal significance. Whoa, your life is not an accident. You are part of God's design, and he never makes mistakes. Before the foundation of the world, before the first sunrise painted the sky, before the oceans roared or the mountains stood tall, God already knew you. You were not an afterthought. You weren't an accident of biology or a result of random events colliding. You were conceived first in the mind and heart of the Creator. Every detail about you, your personality, your abilities, your very existence was carefully and intentionally designed. You may have heard people say things just happen or that's just the way life works. But the truth is, you were made on purpose with a purpose. Your life is not the outcome of luck or coincidence. It is the unfolding of a divine plan that has been in motion since before time began. Think about the way an artist works on a masterpiece. They don't splash colors onto a canvas and hope something beautiful appears. They envision it, they plan it, they shape it stroke by stroke. In the same way, God envisioned you before a single day of your life came to pass. Every part of you was crafted with precision. Your physical features, your voice, your strengths, even the things you see as flaws, all are part of a bigger picture that only he fully understands. The moment you realize you are intentionally created, everything changes. You begin to see your life through a different lens. Suddenly, you're not drifting through the days wondering if you matter. You begin to understand that your existence is a deliberate act of love from a God who never makes mistakes. When he formed you, he did so with a reason that runs deeper than your career, your achievements, or the approval of others. Many people go through life wrestling with questions like, why am I here? Or do I really matter? And often they measure their worth by what others think, by what they have, or by how much they've accomplished. But when you grasp that you were created with intent by a perfect creator, you find a foundation for your worth that can't be shaken by circumstances. You stop looking for validation from the world because you know the one who made you already deemed you valuable enough to bring into existence. Even the timing of your birth was no accident. You were born in the exact generation God intended for you. Your personality, your gifts, your life story, they are suited for this moment in history. There is a reason you are alive today and not 100 years ago or 100 years from now. You were placed here for this time to make a difference in a way no one else can. This truth becomes especially important in moments of doubt or struggle. It's easy to believe in purpose when life is going well, but when hardships come, you may question whether you truly matter. You might even look at others and think they have more talent, more influence, more opportunity. Maybe I'm just here by mistake. Nothing could be further from the truth. God's design doesn't include accidents. Every part of your journey, even the difficult chapters, is part of the story he's writing through your life. The intentional nature of your creation means you are more than a statistic. You are not just another face in the crowd. You carry a divine fingerprint, something about you that reflects the one who made you in a way no one else can replicate. Your laugh, your compassion, your way of thinking, your perspective, All of it is woven together with purpose. When you think about the complexity of life itself, it becomes even more evident that you are not here by accident. Science can explain the mechanics of how life works, but it can't explain why you exist in this exact moment, in this exact body, with these exact gifts. That why comes from God alone, and his answer is always rooted in love. He didn't need to create you, he chose to. And in that choice lies the greatest affirmation you will ever receive. The realization that you are intentionally created should move you from comparison to gratitude. You don't have to be someone else because God didn't design you to be someone else. He designed you to be you. And he placed within you everything you need to fulfill the purpose he's assigned to your life. This doesn't mean you won't grow, learn, or change, but it does mean that who you are at your core is exactly who he wanted you to be. There is freedom in embracing this truth. You no longer have to strive to prove your worth or earn your place in the world. You can live with the confidence that your value was established before you ever took your first breath. You can walk into each day knowing that the God who created the stars and galaxies also created you, not as an afterthought, but as part of his intentional, beautiful design. Long before you open your eyes for the first time, long before your heart took its first beat, God had already written the story of your life. He decided when you would arrive in this world and where you would begin your journey. The family you were born into, the culture you grew up in, the language you speak, none of it happened by accident. These were all part of his deliberate choice for you. Every detail surrounding your entrance into this world was orchestrated with precision because he knew exactly what environment would shape you for the purposes he has in mind. He also gave you the gifts and abilities that make you who you are, the things that come naturally to you, the skills you've developed, the way you see problems and solutions. These are not random traits. They are deposits placed within you to equip you for your unique calling. You might think you simply inherited your talents from your family or picked them up along the way, but behind it all is the hand of the Creator molding you to carry out a specific assignment only you can fulfill. Some of these gifts you may already be aware of. Others may still be hidden, waiting for the right season to emerge. Sometimes life's challenges uncover strengths you didn't know you had. God often uses both victories and hardships to draw out what he has placed inside you. A moment of difficulty may reveal courage you never tapped into before. An unexpected opportunity may show you a talent you never realized was there. These moments aren't just personal discoveries, they are reminders that God knows you better than you know yourself, and he has equipped you perfectly for the path ahead. Even your personality is part of his design. The way you think, the way you respond to people, the way you process life, all of it is intentional. You might have been told that you're too quiet, too outspoken, too analytical, or too emotional, but those very traits may be exactly what someone needs. God designed your temperament for a reason, and it's often through that unique wiring that you will touch lives and fulfill your mission. The placement of your life is also strategic. You are in your current city, community, or circle of influence because God placed you there. You are surrounded by the exact people he wants you to impact. This doesn't mean every situation is comfortable or easy. Sometimes you might wish you were somewhere else with different people or in a different season. But the truth is, there is a reason you are where you are right now. It could be to encourage someone to learn something essential for the future or to prepare for the next chapter he has planned for you. When you begin to grasp that your time and place were chosen by God, it changes the way you view your circumstances. You stop seeing them as mere coincidences and start recognizing them as opportunities. That conversation you had with a stranger, that unexpected job offer, that chance to serve in a small way. These moments can all be part of a bigger plan unfolding. Nothing is wasted in God's design. It's also important to understand that your life's placement isn't just about your benefit, it's about the role you play in the lives of others. You are part of an intricate web of relationships and connections that God is using to accomplish his will on earth. Sometimes you're placed in someone's path to plant a seed of encouragement. Other times you're there to offer wisdom, lend a helping hand, or simply be a source of hope. And in turn, God places people in your life to shape and guide you. This mutual shaping is part of how His plan moves forward. You might not always understand why God placed you in a certain situation, but that's where trust comes in. Trusting His placement means believing that He sees the full picture while you only see a small piece. It means holding on to the truth that His choices are always for your good and for His glory, even when they don't align with your own expectations. There will be seasons when you feel out of place, when you wonder if you've missed your path or taken a wrong turn. In those moments, remember that God's sovereignty covers every step you take. Even detours and delays can be part of His perfect placement. Sometimes He will allow you to be in an unfamiliar or uncomfortable position to teach you something essential, or to position you for an opportunity you couldn't reach otherwise. Your gifts, your personality, your location, your relationships, all of these elements are like pieces of a puzzle that God has arranged with intention. No part of your life is irrelevant or accidental. The things you've learned, the experiences you've had, and the people you've met are all contributing to the bigger picture He is painting with your life. And while you may not see the final image yet, you can be certain that every detail is exactly where it needs to be. There is something extraordinary about realizing that no one else in the history of the world can fulfill the exact role you were created to play. You carry a purpose so specific, so uniquely tailored to who you are, that no other person can step into it in the same way. This isn't about titles, positions, or public recognition. It's about the impact your life is meant to have on the world around you. Every life has significance, but yours is irreplaceable in the way it was designed to intersect with the lives of others. Your purpose is woven into the very fabric of your being. It's not just something you do. It's a reflection of who you are, from the way you speak to the way you notice things others overlook. These traits are not random. They were intentionally crafted to help you accomplish what you were born to do. The kindness you show to a stranger, the way you listen when someone is hurting, the solutions you come up with when problems arise. These aren't just habits or preferences. They are expressions of the mission God placed inside you before you even knew it existed. Sometimes people think purpose is reserved for the extraordinary few, the ones with grand platforms, exceptional talents, or remarkable stories. But the truth is, purpose is embedded in every single life. You may not be called to speak to crowds of thousands, but perhaps you are called to shape the heart of a child, to encourage someone who feels unseen, or to bring peace into a chaotic environment. These roles are just as vital in the kingdom of God as those that seem more visible. Your purpose isn't measured by how many people notice you. It's measured by the obedience you show in living it out. There's also a sacred connection between your experiences and your calling. The challenges you faced, the victories you've celebrated, and even the mistakes you've made, all of these shape the way you fulfill your purpose. Nothing in your life is wasted when you understand that every moment can be used to prepare you for what's ahead. The lessons you've learned in private may one day be the wisdom that changes someone else's life in public. Because your purpose is unique, it's important to resist the temptation to compare yourself to others. Comparison is one of the quickest ways to lose sight of the value of your own role. When you look at someone else's life and think they have a greater or more important calling, you diminish the significance of the assignment you've been given. The truth is, no one can do what you were made to do in the way you can do it. Even if others have similar skills or goals, they do not have your exact combination of experiences, personality, and influence. Living out your unique purpose often requires courage. It means being willing to step out in faith, even when the path isn't fully clear. It means using your gifts even when you feel underqualified. It means trusting that if God gave you this role, He will also give you the strength and resources to carry it out. There will be moments of doubt, times when you feel like what you're doing doesn't matter, But in those moments, you have to remember that impact is not always immediately visible. Seeds planted today may take years to grow, yet they still hold the potential to bear great fruit. Your purpose also connects to the people you're meant to serve. There are lives only you can reach in a way that truly matters to them. It could be a coworker who opens up to you because you've shown consistent kindness. It could be a neighbor who trusts you because you've been present in moments of need. It could even be someone you meet only once, yet that one conversation changes the direction of their life. These encounters are not coincidental. They are part of the way your unique purpose unfolds. Often the fulfillment of your calling doesn't happen in one grand moment, but through a series of small, faithful choices. Choosing to encourage rather than criticize. Choosing to forgive rather than hold a grudge. Choosing to keep going when quitting seems easier. These daily decisions build a legacy you were meant to leave, and they matter far more than you might think. Embracing your unique role also means accepting that you are a work in progress. Purpose isn't something you fully grasp overnight. It's something you grow into over time. As you walk with God, He will reveal more layers of your calling. Some seasons will be about preparation, others about action, and others about reflection. Each stage plays a part in shaping the impact you will have. When you begin to truly believe that your life carries a one-of-a-kind purpose, it changes the way you approach every day. You stop waiting for someday to start making a difference, and you start looking for ways to live out your calling in the present moment. You begin to see every interaction, every challenge, every opportunity as part of the canvas where God is painting the masterpiece of your life. Everything you have, every gift, every ability, every spark of creativity, every ounce of compassion was placed inside you with intention. These aren't random traits you stumbled upon or talents you happen to inherit by chance. They are deliberate deposits from the Creator, meant to equip you for the life He's called you to live. Your kindness isn't just a nice personality trait. It's a tool that can heal wounds and open hearts. Your wisdom isn't just something you've gathered over time. It's a guiding light for someone who feels lost. Your talents aren't just for your enjoyment. They are resources to serve, build, and inspire. When you begin to see your abilities this way, everything changes. You stop dismissing them as small or insignificant and start recognizing them as part of a greater strategy. That patience you have with difficult people, the way you can see potential in others when they can't see it themselves, your knack for solving problems. These are not just quirks. They are part of a divine toolkit prepared specifically for you, and the more you use them, the more they grow, becoming even more effective in the lives you touch. Often, people underestimate their own impact because they compare their gifts to those of others. They think, I'm not as talented as them, or what I have isn't as valuable. But the truth is, the value of your gifts is not determined by their size, but by their purpose. A single word of encouragement at the right moment can have more impact than a grand speech given to a crowd. A small act of kindness done with genuine love can echo far longer than a public display meant to impress. The measure of your gifts is found in the lives they influence, not in how loudly they are displayed. Your talents and acts of kindness also have a multiplying effect. One seed planted in love can produce fruit in ways you may never see. You might encourage someone who then goes on to encourage dozens more. You might share wisdom with someone who later uses it to solve a problem that benefits an entire community. The reach of your gifts often extends far beyond what you can measure because God takes what you offer and expands it in ways you couldn't imagine. It's also important to understand that your gifts were not given to remain dormant. They are meant to be used, stretched, and poured out. Sometimes this means stepping into situations that feel uncomfortable or beyond your ability. When you serve in these moments, you allow God to work through you, and that's when your gifts are refined and strengthened. The more you exercise them, the more confident and capable you become in using them for good. Your kindness is one of the most powerful tools you carry. It may seem simple, but it can break down barriers, restore hope, and change the course of someone's day or even their life. In a world that often feels cold and divided, genuine kindness stands out like a light in the darkness, whether it's offering a listening ear, lending a helping hand, or speaking words of encouragement. These moments matter deeply. And while the person you help may never forget it, you may never fully know the extent of the difference you've made. Wisdom, too, is a gift that grows with time and experience. It's not just about knowing the right answers, but about understanding the right timing and approach. Wisdom helps you navigate difficult situations with grace and helps others find their way through challenges. When you share the lessons you've learned, even the ones that came from your mistakes, you are passing on a legacy that can guide others long after the conversation has ended. Creativity, problem solving, leadership, empathy, encouragement, whatever your specific gifts may be, they were given to you for a reason. They are pieces of the puzzle in God's plan, designed to fit perfectly with the needs of the people around you. Your unique combination of traits means you can touch lives in a way no one else can. Even if others have similar skills, they don't have your exact story, your exact voice, or your exact way of connecting with others. Sometimes your gifts will be used in obvious ways, and other times they'll work quietly in the background. You might be the one in the spotlight leading a project, or you might be the one behind the scenes making it possible for others to succeed. Both roles are equally important, and both are vital to the bigger picture. The beauty of God's design is that there is no such thing as a wasted gift when it's used for His purpose. Even the smallest gestures can carry eternal weight when they're done with love. A smile offered to someone in despair, a note of encouragement slipped into someone's hand, a prayer whispered for a person who doesn't even know you're praying. These may seem insignificant in the moment, but they can change the course of a heart. And when you offer what you have, no matter how small it seems, you allow God to multiply it beyond anything you could do alone. You are not ordinary because you were made by a God who does not make mistakes. Every detail about you, from the shape of your hands to the sound of your voice, from the way your mind works to the rhythm of your heartbeat, is intentional. You are His masterpiece, not a rough draft, not a backup plan, but a finished work of art that carries the fingerprints of the Creator. When you look at a beautiful painting or a finely crafted sculpture, you recognize the value because of the artist's skill and vision. In the same way, your worth comes from the one who designed you. He formed you with care, with precision, and with a vision for what your life could be. A masterpiece is not mass-produced. It is unique, one of a kind, impossible to replicate. That's exactly what you are. There has never been another person with your exact combination of experiences, personality, strengths, and weaknesses, and there never will be again. This uniqueness is not a flaw. It's the very thing that qualifies you for the role you were made to play. Just as a puzzle is incomplete without every single piece, the world is incomplete without the part you were created to contribute. Being a masterpiece also means that the process of your creation was intentional. God didn't rush when He made you. He didn't throw together random traits and hope they worked out. He took time to weave together your story, even the parts you might wish were different. The challenges you've faced, the victories you've celebrated, the lessons you've learned, all of these are brushstrokes on the canvas of your life. Some are bright and joyful, others are dark and difficult, but together they create a picture that is beautiful and whole. Sometimes it's hard to believe you're a masterpiece when life doesn't feel beautiful. Pain, failure, and disappointment can make you question your worth. You might look at yourself and see only the flaws, the mistakes, the things you wish you could change. But God sees the finished work. He sees beyond your current struggles to the complete design He had in mind from the very beginning. Where you see brokenness, He sees potential. Where you see weakness, He sees a place for His strength to shine. Recognizing yourself as a masterpiece also changes the way you treat yourself. You begin to value your life more, to guard your heart, and to live in a way that honors the one who created you. Trying to be a copy of someone else and start embracing the original design you were given. You stop speaking words of defeat over yourself and start speaking life. You stop chasing approval from the wrong places because you know you already have the approval of the one who matters most. When you live with this awareness, you also begin to treat others differently. If you are a masterpiece, then so are they. Every person you meet carries the same divine imprint, even if their gifts and flaws look different from yours. You start to see past the surface, past the imperfections, to the beauty and value God has placed in them. And when you do that, you become part of His work in helping others recognize their worth. The truth that you are a masterpiece isn't meant to fill you with pride, but with gratitude and responsibility. Gratitude because you realize the incredible care God took in making you. Responsibility because a masterpiece is meant to be displayed, not hidden away. Your life is meant to reflect the one who made you. Your actions, your words, your choices, all of them are opportunities to show the world the beauty of His work. You may not feel like a masterpiece every day. There will be seasons when you feel unfinished or overlooked, but feelings are not facts. The fact is, God calls you His handiwork. And when the one who created galaxies, oceans, and mountains calls you valuable, no opinion, not even your own, can change that truth. So walk in the confidence of knowing you were made on purpose. Stand tall, not because you have it all together, but because the one who made you holds you together. Live boldly, not because you're flawless, but because you know the artist is still adding the final touches to your life. And never forget, you are not here by accident. You are part of God's design, and His masterpiece is you.